Okay, welcome to another edition of Western Door Paranormal. We are here at the Devil's Hole State Park in Niagara Falls. Now, the Devil's Hole State Park is far more than just another caldera or just another chasm. It has been an area known for bad luck and death. The Native Americans thought at one point, part of the legend was they slew a gigantic snake and they dropped it in here and it formed the Devil's Hole. But in actuality, there is a lot more going on here than just Native American myth. The Devil's Hole Park, the biggest part of the history of the Devil's Hole Park is the Devil's Hole Massacre. Now, up there, that was a portage road. And this was a link between Fort Schlossler and Fort Niagara. And the Native Americans would carry the gear and supplies from fort to fort. Well, once the Americans began to bring in stuff like wagons and extra horses and stuff, they began to no longer need the Native Americans. Well, the Native Americans relied on this for their livelihood, and their livelihood was suddenly taken away from them. So what happened, they retaliated. They retaliated by ambushing the American troops as they were coming along in their wagons. They did it with deadly effect. Now, if you look over here, this is actually the Devil's Hole Caldera. If you can imagine looking up there by the top where the trees are, that's where when the massacre occurred, in panic, the horses, buggies, soldiers would go flying down into this caldera and met a horrible, untimely death. There was only one survivor. He was a drummer boy, and he was held by his drum harness down there in the trees. He's the one that lived to tell the tale of the Devil's Hole Massacre. The Devil's Hole Massacre has also been an area known as bad luck. Hopefully we don't challenge that too much today. But President William McKinley, mere hours before his assassination, visited this very same spot. Also, up in there used to be a tourist train. Well, one day the tourist train comes loose from its moorings and plummets down into the Devil's Hole, killing all aboard. The best way to access the Devil's Hole is this way, through these stairs. We go down these stairs here, and we will show you what's known as the Bear Cave. This here is another feature of the Devil's Hole Park. It's known as the Bear Cave. A lot of people have heard whispers in here. A lot of people have seen lights in here, that sort of thing. So we're going to be checking it for energy levels and see exactly what's around here. Now, as you can see from this fire down here, this is actually a party spot. Well, we don't recommend you do this because if you look back this way, over here at all these boulders, what I can tell you is this: these boulders weren't here last time that we were at this park. If you look up, this is where the boulders come from. These boulders more often than not, kind of come crashing down and are always changing the landscape of this area here. This is a very treacherous investigation. I do not recommend that people just come down here at night, tromping around, having a good time partying, because people can fall down into the chasm here. There's a lot of ways you can just slip, slide, and fall several hundred feet. So I don't recommend it. We're going to be very careful. We have a plan. We've been rehearsing this. We know exactly what we're going to do. So please do not try this. What we're going to do is we're going to actually get a base sweep going. I'm going to do a sweep for energy levels, and then when it gets a little darker, we're going to actually start the investigation. Again, very dangerous, but we'll be okay. Let's see if we can actually beat the legend and lore of the Devil's Hole State Park and hopefully find some evidence of paranormal activity. Okay, we went down there to do a base sweep, which is basically getting a feel for what the normal EMF levels are for an area. To do this, we used a K2 meter and an EMF detector. What's interesting to note here is the average. Up here is like 2 green dots. Down there, the average seemed to be 3 dots, but it fluctuated pretty wildly. One of the theories I can't totally discount is the idea that we have these power lines basically right here. Now, those power lines would give off a high EMF field, so I can't discount that. But it was weird, when you go down into the chasm, you're getting lower and lower and lower. The field should actually dissipate a little bit, but it got stronger. So that's something we're just going to think about when we're doing the EMF work at this area. Okay, We're conducting EVP sessions at the Devil's Hole National Park here in Niagara Falls, New York. EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena. Investigators use digital recorders like this one to capture voices and sounds not audible to human ears, but during playback, these phenomena can be heard. Is there anybody here who wants to communicate tonight? Is there any spirits out here, benevolent, that may have something to say to us? Story to be told? Are you out here tonight with us?
Is there a soldier? A general? Indians? If there is, can you say yes?
On top here is a K2 meter. We can use that to verify your presence here. You approach that, you light up lights, we know you're here. Can you or anybody with you approach them lights and light them up for us? A K2 meter measures electromagnetic fields emitted by spirits and other electronic devices in the same way that an EMF detector does. The K2 meter is primarily used in communication with spirits using 5 lights varying from green to red in response to yes and no answers. Need the bats to come out and force and eat these things. Can you light some lights for us? Because we're going to go on the move here in a bit.
Help us out.
Help us out.
Can you get rid of
We're not going to sit in one spot forever. And
we've seen 3 lights and they just disappeared.
be mosquito targets. This next clip is very interesting. It's another one of the cases where it's probably one of the most weirdest things we ever picked up. We were of course shooting, and I was doing work with the K2 meter, which is a device that measures electromagnetic fields and registers by the little lights. Now, somewhere between me and my extended arm, an object just kind of for a split second goes in front of my arm, almost blocking out the K2 meter, and disappears. Now, we thought about many possible reasons for it. We thought maybe it was my hair. But when I hold a K2 meter, typically, I hold it away from me kind of like this. And I do know I wasn't doing anything sudden at that time. So, and the thing came like across this way in front of my arm. But my hair would have had to have got really, really longer than it actually is, whipped out in front of it, and came back. We looked it over and over. We frame by framed it. I showed it to my investigators. We all agreed we have no clue what it is. Is it a wrath? Is it an apparition? Is it one of the demons of the park trying to take the K2 meter out of my hand? Well, take a look at the clip and then you can decide. What you're going to see here is another really interesting clip. We're out there doing our investigation and we hear a clear female's hum, almost like she's trying to sing some kind of a melody. Now, I asked, my daughter was my camera person, so I asked her. I said, please tell me you didn't do that. And according to her, she didn't do that. What's nice about this is later on in the show, you're going to hear the same thing on the EVP. So we have something on video to kind of correlate what we catch on EVP later on. So this is another thing that's definitely out of place. Give it a listen. If Tony Spirit, I'd be all over the place. But you know damn well.
Were you a kid? A child? I know you guys are here, but I can't see you, or no one can see you, but, you know, at least show us something.
What we have here in this clip is, my belief, is a very, very polite spirit. I hear what comes across to me as someone saying, excuse me. Let's see if you agree. Check it out.
Are you lost?
Out the bottom of nowhere.
Come on. You can do it. Grab my hand.
There came a certain time during the investigation, of course, that it got dark. Now, we tried the best we could to conduct the investigation at night like we do most of our investigations. But even with the lighting rigs we have, it simply became too dangerous, and there was no way I was going to risk my crew, myself, just to conduct a paranormal investigation here at the Devil's Hole Park. So we had to leave and pack up. We're back here today. It's kind of cloudy, overcast. It's a little on the dark side, but it's daylight, so we're going to conduct this phase of the investigation in the day, especially down by the bear cave where we're headed, because there was a rock slide. It was completely shifty. There was no way it became a safety issue, and we do not endorse or condone anyone going down there during the dark, because people get hurt, they get killed. And so please do not go down into the Devil's Hole in the dark under any circumstances. You get the same readings out here in the day as you do at night. Come down here in the day, explore, do what you gotta do, but stay out of there at night. It's very treacherous. So we're gonna continue the investigation now in the day as best as we can. Okay, here we go again. Like I said, we're getting the same kind of K2 readings that we got before. I mean, right in the middle, that's crazy. But again, we're surrounded by wires, so that could be it. I really don't think this is paranormal. I wanna see this thing work on cue. So we're going to go to the bear cave to see how that works out.
Go ahead.
This is going to be dangerous, guys. Look at this new rock slides over here. None of this was here. This is shale actually peeling away from the face of this. Okay, we're about to get to it. Do not try this at home part. See, to get to the bear cave, there's another path. You got to go down them stairs. Make a hook, and I think it comes up from the back on the other side. But this is bad. I certainly don't endorse this, but it's doable. You know what? You first. So I can catch you if you fall. Yeah, like you fell.
Be careful. That.
Got it. Yeah, this is all brand new again. This is not like this.
Oh, you gotta go next row.
Yeah.
You want all three of us down there?
Yeah. Just gotta make sure we hug this wall. This is very, wow.
Intense.
See where people get hurt. I do not recommend anyone come this way. This is crazy. Sharp shale. And this is all new.
Nothing new.
And I still have the steady 3 lights, and I don't think that's paranormal.
It's probably from the water.
It's a little less hairy. I think on the way back, we're going to try to find this trail. Careful, guys.
Like going on a deep safari, deep hunt.
Okay, we're gonna do some K2. That was treacherous.
I got the whole trail too, following the camera and everything.
Yeah, that's lethal. To those watching this, that's the way not to take. I believe there's another path somehow that winds from here that leads to the. This is the bear cave that leads to the bear cave. I'm gonna fish out my EVP.
What's that say?
Is that the only light?
Black Roy.
Yeah, I only brought the one. It really doesn't go that deep. I just need light so we can see for one thing. Don't leave it where it is. Drew, you coming? Because I'm going to need you in the front with me. Because these two guys stay behind me because they're lighting. All right. Now notice I'm going into the cave and I'm down to 1 dot on the EMF meter. I'm back up to 2. Need better light kind of shine in front of me there, Zachary. Where are you? You should be way back there with that light. Get up right next to Carney. Thank you.
Wow, I know this is big.
All right, we are in the what's known as the Bear Cave in the Devil's Hole Park. It literally was at one time a bear cave, kind of formed by the glaciers. You know how it works with the gorge and the cutting and the ice flows and stuff like that. What's nice about this is, hey, no EMF fields. So, let's see. Well, look at that. Put it up against this rock, and I get 3 lights. I wonder if it's because this is heavy shale or quartz. They're known to carry their own charge. I'll put it here. No? That's weird. The energy must be in the rock, guys, because I'm putting it, look, I got it on this rock, and I'm getting 3. Up, nothing. Well, nothing here either. Up there I get 3 again, though. Which means there's got to be high shale and quartz in here. Alright, I'm going to conduct another quick EVP session here. Alright, we're in your bear cave, so-called. If there are spirits lingering in this cave, touch one of us, or better yet, approach the K2 meter. If that was you, can you light that orange light again? Are you trapped in this cave? Are you a free spirit? Okay. Are you a male? Are you a female? Okay, I'm going to ask that again. You're doing great. You're doing great. Are you a male? Are you a female? Okay, were you on the train when it derailed and plunged into the gorge? You catch that? Yeah. Are there other spirits here? Okay. Are there spirits from the War of 1812 here? So, the spirits that are here are from the Devil's Hole Massacre, also. Okay, tell her we have K2 communication. Okay, here's a collection of the EVPs we got from the Devil's Hole State Park. They're all really cool, really interesting. And it's exciting that we were able to actually collect this many EVPs. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and check them out. Okay, these are the EVPs from the Devil's Hole Park. This particular EVP, at about the 46-second point, you're going to hear what I believe to be something saying, uh-huh, or uh-uh. This is from the top area of the park itself, by where the tree and the bathrooms are. Check it out.
Are you out here tonight with us?
Okay, this next one, we're conducting our EVP sessions up on the main ledge, and at about the 6:46 point, I have no idea what this says, but it's definitely in response to us talking. Again, you're open to check it out and see if you can decipher what it is for yourself. We have no idea, so give it a listen.
And
we received 3 lights and they just disappeared.
the mosquito targets. We're gonna go on the move.
Little light bugs that just...
Okay, this next one we had actually on video earlier in the program. This is the actual EVP where we first heard it. At the 7:24 point, you get what sounds like a girl humming some kind of a melody. Again, what's so important about this EVP is that it correlates with a video taken earlier, and it helps confirm what we experienced there and what we experienced here. Seeing that we got it on 2 different recorders, that's very important. Give it a listen.
I know you guys are here, but I can't see you or no one can
This particular EVP at about the 15:05 point, you hear a voice in the middle of our conversation say yes, kind of really deep-throated, long and drawn out. Give a listen.
No one around at all.
I get it like a breeze.
Okay, this next clip is not a true EVP, but it does document an event that did happen to us while we were out there. It's kind of self-explanatory. Something actually hits the wife in the face, and it wasn't long after this that in the video that you saw earlier that something kind of appears briefly between me and my K2 meter. So this is the events as they unfolded. It's too bad the cameras weren't rolling for video, but we do have it on audio. Check it out.
I just forget we saw.
Oh my God! Something jumped up at me. What? What? Something hit me in the face. I don't know what it was, but something hit me in the face.
What did this feel like? A bug or something coming
Well,
out?
I don't know. Something just smacked me and fell off. It was pretty big.
Really?
It was. Yeah. There you go. Good. Another ball just went through the tree down.
Okay, this EVP also was taken on the main landing. At about the 22-second point, you're going to hear a spirit clearly say that this is horseplay.
I'm here. Do it again.
I did that a little fast. Hold on.
I know you were here. You lit up my light. Come back. I'm here. Do it again.
Okay, this one here is an example of what could happen if you fool around a little too much. We were kind of starting to revel a little bit, have a good time during the EVP session, and it turns out we don't think the spirit appreciated our candor, because at about the 53-second point, you hear him say, "Damn them boys." So, check it out.
The light. Do it again.
Okay, this next one, we're conducting our EVP sessions up on the main ledge, and at about the 6:46 point, I have no idea what this says, but it's definitely in response to us talking. Again, you're open to check it out and see if you can decipher what it is for yourself. We have no idea, so give it a listen.
And
We received 3 lights and they just disappeared.
the mosquito targets. We're gonna go on the move.
Little light bugs that just